What's up guys, Dylan Sawyer here. Today I'm giving you guys a guide on how I personally use Keepa. This is one of the softwares that's an essential for an Amazon seller. And yeah, let's jump right into it. If you guys enjoy this episode, please like, subscribe, comment. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. I've been getting a lot of momentum on YouTube. I'm in the same tag at I am Dylan Sawyer. So if you guys want to learn more about Amazon, keep getting more free info, follow me on there as well. And let's get right to it. In this guide, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the software Keepa. If you don't know what Keepa is, it is the backbone of Amazon. It basically has kept track of all of the prices, how many sellers there were, how quickly it's selling. Literally everything you need to know about an Amazon listing, it has the data for 10 years, and it's on every single product. This is 100% essential if you're planning on selling on Amazon, and it's super cheap as well. So let's check out their website right here. I believe their cheapest plan is $20 a month or something like that. There's a free extension, but it just doesn't show you all the data that you need to know. Like product viewer is really good. It'll tell you the bestseller rank, top seller. It's going to just have a lot more information for you. Let's go here to where you can look at your subscriptions. And yeah, you can see I pay for the yearly plan here. It's $189 a year. That's euros. So it probably comes out to like 200 or around 190. It's 100% worth it. Like, as you guys can see, I've used this since 2021. It's 100% essential if you plan on selling on Amazon. So let me show you guys what it can do here. So I pulled up 4 different examples for you guys. So first, let's look at this good seller right here. Guys, good variations. And I'm going to kind of just do a rundown on what I look for when I'm looking at Keepa. So if you don't know, Keepa is the software that pops up whenever you scroll down here. It's this box right here, and it might not look like this for you guys whenever you first download it. So I'm going to unselect everything and then click through everything that I actually have added on here. It's going to be just completely blank like this. The most important things are going to be sales rank, Buybox, third-party FBA, and then this right here, the new offer count. You could really get away with just using this right here. There are a couple things that I like in the sub-ranks. Monthly sold is really the main one. Some of these are pretty much useless. It just tells you where the rank is at in the category. So like it's just going to show the same graph pretty much 10 times. Like it's literally useless. Just unselect all of those and only keep this top sales rank up here. I also like to have the new price in here sometimes just to see like what it drops down to when there's FBM sellers. So let me explain what each of these individual things are for you guys. So new is the gray line right here that just shows the absolute lowest price that anyone's listed at, not including FBM shipping. So you might see the new price as $70 or something like that when a listing is selling for $100. That seller could put a $30 shipping charge on there, which is why it's more important to look at the buy box here. So this is what the product is actually selling at. So as you can see, the buy box rotates between a lot of different people. And what's really cool, you're able to see like who these sellers are. So you might be sourcing a lot and recognize a few familiar faces whenever you're doing this. So that's how you know, like, okay, I should check out this guy's storefront and maybe see if I can find some profitable leads. So that's what the buy box is. It's this little box right here. It just basically tracks what this price is at. If you don't know what the buy box is or how to get the buy box, it's really made up of like which seller has the best offer. So which seller has the quickest delivery times, the best price, the best reviews, the most amount of stock. It comes down to a lot of different things, but those are the main 4. This chart down here is the offer count. This one is actually probably the second most important or third most important behind the buy box price and the sales rank. Super important to see the competition. And you can see like on some of these listings where whenever the offer count is like 20 to 30, the price is hitting 114, 105. But you can see whenever it peaks out here at 90, it's going to its rock bottom price. So you can kind of see how it correlates. The more sellers are on a listing, the lower the price is going to be. But a great way to check if something is selling or not is to just zoom into these offers right here and see if they're moving up and down. If you see a listing where the offer count's going up and down, and it's constantly moving, especially like this, where multiple people are selling out within a matter of hours, that's a great sign that this product is selling very, very well. And another thing we're going to look at up here that I forgot to mention, this third-party FBA. We use this with the new tab right here because it's really good for checking whether these cheaply priced sellers are actually doing FBM or if they're doing FBA. So let's zoom into like a tiny window right here. So as you can see, the low price right here, $79.80. The buy box is all FBM right here. But the lowest priced FBA seller is at $89. So you might be kind of new to Amazon, and let's say you're using Inventory Lab or Boxum or one of these softwares to ship your products out. You might list it at $79 because you see that the lowest price is at that. You don't know that the lowest price is at $89 and they're still getting sales at $89. So that's really important to look out for. So that's why I have all three of these activated. And next, I would say review count. This is something that's optional. We don't use this a lot because sometimes the numbers can be weird here. Like, as you can see, it's like popping up and down. This is another way of just generally telling, like, okay, this product is selling. Like, as you can see, the review count goes up by the hundreds over the years. That's pretty much all that there is to it on this page right here. This is definitely the most important part about Keepa because you're able to see the all-time history of every product. So you can see at one point in 2019, this was not selling at all. So I'm going to show you guys what a listing looks like that does not sell. So the first giveaway is going to be the sales rank. If it's in the millions, usually it's not selling very quick, or if it is selling, it's selling once every month or two, which is not good. You don't want to be buying products like that. And as you can see back here, at one point it was actually selling. You can see the offer count rising up, and then all these people are selling out, and the rank corresponds to that. It goes down to 89,000, which during this time of year is actually pretty quick. In December, it's at 320, which is not great, but if it hits 80K, that means it's selling like hundreds of times per month. But as you can see, the people started to sell out, the price started to go up, the buy box got suppressed. So if you guys ever see a listing where you can see the buy box right here and then it goes away, that's when a listing gets what's called suppressed. And whenever you have a suppressed buy box, it can come down to a few different reasons. Sometimes Amazon just thinks your price too high. They usually think that your price too high because they cross-check with other retailers, even small, very tiny like Shopify stores, random retailers like that. They're going to just check all the prices on Google and see if their offer on Amazon is a lot more expensive. And if it is, they're going to suppress it until you lower your price to match them. So you might see a product on Amazon like a kitchenware, something that Amazon themselves is selling at $200. It's usually going to be the same price as like Best Buy, Walmart, a lot of those big retailers. So whenever you see it get suppressed, the volume slows down by a lot. So you can see the buy box here is at $33.98, and it was selling decently. 300K rank it's like pretty bad, but it's not horrible. Like, it's still moving. And then once that thing gets suppressed, it starts going a lot slower. Like, it's whenever it starts to hit the millions. And if you guys don't know, the lower the sales rank, the better. You want to get as close to 1 as possible. Most products that you're going to find are probably going to be within the 10 to 75,000 range. But if you can find something that's profitable and it's lower than that, expect it to sell very quickly. So this is what it looks like here when it's not selling at all. When the rank just keeps kind of going up, and if it drops, it's not dropping out much. It just kind of keeps going up, and it doesn't have any drops. Whenever you start to see the drops down here where it hits like 150 or it goes to even like down here to 400,000, that's a sale right there. But whenever you see it just consistently up here for a while, it's not selling at all, and that's months worth of time here. So you guys know, if you guys see something like this, avoid it. But in a very rare circumstance, I would be open to buying this product. The reason why it's definitely not selling is because there's not a lot of sellers on there, and the sellers who are on here are priced too high. So he's at $32.97, and this is a great example of why I use the new and the lowest FBA offers. So it says he's priced at $32.97 on the Keepa, but whenever I look on here, it's $32.97 plus $5 shipping. So it's actually $37.97. So now I know this seller's way overpriced. People who were selling these were moving these at, what was it, like 25 to 20. So let's say I stumbled across this product at $8 or something like that, and I could stock up all these different sizes up here. This listing would start selling again. It would pick up in volume because I have a decent offer that people could buy from. But whenever there's only sellers are high priced and not all the sizes are in stock, the volume slows down tremendously. But there's been a couple products like this where we stocked it up and brought it from like a 500K to a million sales rank all the way down to like 100K. And that's really good because not a lot of people are going to be looking at products like that because they're going to see 500K rank and instantly get scared away. So that's what it looks like whenever something's not moving at all. It's going to just slowly creep up like that. And let me show you guys this variations tab over here. I guess I already have this tab open. Well, we can dive through some of these other Keepa tools here. So track product. This one is more for advanced sellers. I honestly haven't really used this one much, but I've seen a lot of people who swear by it. So this basically allows you to set alerts for yourself for when certain products hit certain prices. I feel like this is mostly for A to A sellers, but this right here, let's say the price goes up to, so this shows that it's going $66.50 or less. the times that I would use this, I would check for more. So like, let's say it's selling for 80 right now. I want to be notified if it's selling for 100, because this shoe is already a $100 retail shoe. It's probably going to be pretty tough to find profitably to sell at $80. You're probably going to have to find it 50% off or higher. So I don't really use this too much. You can kind of just set the alerts on here. I wouldn't recommend that for any beginners. Data, this is where it starts to get really, really crucial about what you're looking at here on Keepa. So first, the product details. It's going to show bought in the last month, when it updated, ratings, how many ratings, last price change. This can be a really interesting one to see like how quickly people are undercutting each other. Buybox seller, Buybox's FBA, and it shows the fees. This is really interesting too. But good thing you have SellerAmp to use so that you can just plug your cost in and it's going to tell you the fees automatically. With this right here, you would have to type it in manually. Like you would have to take your sale price, subtract the pick and pack fee, and subtract the referral fee. It actually shows the referral fee based on the current buy box price, which is pretty cool. But you don't really need to know this information once you have a tool like SellerAmp. Lowest FBM seller, not too important. Tracking since is pretty crazy. Tracking since 2019. Some listings go back 10, 15 years, which is absolutely insane that they have data that goes back that long. Shows the category, the subcategory, ASIN, EAN, UPC. UPC and ASIN are important. I don't really use the EAN. I think that's for Europeans. I think they have a different SKU system there. Part number, this is usually going to be the SKU number. Sometimes it's wrong or it's not on there. Parent ASIN, this one isn't really important at all. This is just the overall ASIN for the entire listing. So like if you copy this ASIN and put it in a boxum, it's not going to tell you which size and which color you're selected. It's going to make you just pick from any one of these size and colors. But this ASIN right up here is going to give you this specific color, white, black, 000, size 10. It's going to give you exactly that product. So you want to use that. We don't really use the parent ASIN ever. Frequently bought together. This can be cool to look at every once in a while if you're planning on doing like a bundle or if you're just looking for other stuff to source. Shoes gives you more type. It also shows the model number here. And then the dimensions of the weight of the product. You're not really going to need that much. Here, this side is a lot more important, I would say, than the other side. So this one has the sales rank current and all the averages down here. So I like to use this when I'm training like newer employees and they have a tough time reading the chart and like kind of doing the averages in their own head. So it's a good milestone to set. Like if you're looking for a specific type of product, you want the sales rank to be on average 100,000 or less within the last 180 days, for example. So that's just like a good metric you can keep for your team so that they can just say like, oh, okay, the average is too high, or oh, this is good. So it also shows the drops. I don't really use that information. It doesn't really matter to me. Review count averages doesn't really matter to me either. Buy box averages. This is something that I also look at and consider when I'm doing a purchase every once in a while. So most of the time, again, I'll just look at the price history chart and just kind of have an eye for it. But for newer people, it's good to look at these averages. And then it has more about the new prices and FBA current prices. I would focus on the buy box. The buy box is what's important here. Screw all the other stuff. Focus on the buy box. Used, this is another thing I don't look at all. I don't look at the buy box for used. I don't look at the offer counts for used. It's not important to me. We sell new products, so it just doesn't matter. Offer count averages, this can sometimes be insightful, but we don't really use that too much. You can mainly just see it on the chart. And that's pretty much all for this product details tab right here. Let's dive into offers. This is one that I like a lot, actually. One note about offers, you always want to immediately, as soon as you pull this up, just come over here, click include historical offers. Whenever I click this, it doesn't really do anything for me. I don't usually click that. I never really look at listings where it will like show more sellers whenever I click that. So I just don't really do it. But get in the habit of clicking include historical offers on every one of these. So sometimes this can be completely inaccurate, and sometimes it can be the best way to tell how much volume to buy on a listing. So like for this one, for example, the stock count keeps popping in and out. It's probably a glitch, or he's setting order limits and removing them. If you don't know what order limits are, if you're an Amazon seller, you look at your listings, you click edit, you can set a maximum order quantity for that item. So you might be thinking like, why would anyone ever want to limit how much someone can buy? So the reasons for that, sometimes there's black hat competitors on certain like very high competition listings that will try and buy out your stock on a credit card that doesn't work. So that it basically just declines and it keeps your items as sold, but they're pending. So they're not in your stock, but they're not actually sold either because the guy put a fake card on there that's just going to get declined. So Amazon just keeps the order pending so that they can change their card and update their payment methods so that the order can go through. Sometimes they just never do that and they keep trying to rebuy your items. But if you set an order limit of 2 or 5 instead of 30 or whatever the normal on Amazon is, it can make it a lot harder for them to do that. So that's one reason. 2, so they can't see how much, so people can't see how much stock you have on the Keepa offers tab. So I may be looking at this guy right here. This guy definitely probably has order limits on with how it's been consistent for so long. He probably just set it to 14 and just let it sell through. Like, he's pretty competitively priced, I guess, as well. And you can just zoom out here and see, yeah, it's been like rock solid for a while. But when you look at someone like this, you can see that they pretty clearly bought 150 units, like it got loaded on their account, and then they're slowly selling through all of it. So we're going to take a closer look at this guy right here. So we're able to see, okay, on March 22nd, we'll go to, he has 148 units. And by April 2nd, he's only got 116. So he sold about like 30-something units here within about 10 days. So that gives me a pretty decent picture on like, okay, if he can sell 30 in 7 days, I usually typically aim for about 30 days worth of supply when I'm buying products. So if he sells 30 in a week, in 4 weeks, I could probably sell 120 to 130. So that's usually going to be the range that I buy on a product like this. Obviously, I'll look at a couple of these other sellers as well. Like, we can see this guy had 6 and he sold through pretty much in a day or two. So that's pretty similar. Like, if you're selling 6 within 2 days, let's say, that would be on average like 75 a month or something like that, which is pretty solid. So let's look at the Buybox Statistics here. This is another pretty important tab. I would say this is more important for wholesale. With arbitrage, usually the Buybox is going to rotate pretty evenly because none of the sellers are like giant sellers. With wholesale, it gets a little bit more complicated though, because sometimes you're going to be competing against people with 20,000, 25,000 reviews. They sell tens of thousands of units every day. It's a completely different level of scale and operation, and Amazon favors sellers who do that. So you might have a tough time getting a buy box if you're a seller like me with a few hundred reviews and you're competing against an absolutely massive one. They're going to favor them. So what you can do to combat that is look at this Buybox Statistics right here and check and see, okay, who's getting the buy box? How evenly is it distributed? This can honestly be really, really useful for whenever you're searching for products that Amazon is also selling on. Sometimes you might be scared away and see, oh, Amazon's selling on it, I'm not going to be able to get any sales. But if you look at the buy box statistics, they might be giving up 75% of the sales on that listing and you just have no idea. So you need to check it down here, and you can see that it's a pretty even split. These people probably have lower stock than these sellers up here. And you can see up here, there's sellers with 1,588 reviews. They're only getting 12% of the buy box when someone with 3 reviews is getting 30%. So with arbitrage, you're able to get the buy box much more often. Variations. So here we go. I would set your variations tab to look like mine. It's probably going to show it a little bit differently. You want to have, I would say, the image, title, current price, price history, ratings history, bought in the past month, color, size, ASIN, and this offer count right here. The current doesn't really matter because we're already tracking the buy box, but this is a great way to be able to tell the volume for each individual listing on a listing with a bunch of variations. So SellerAmp over here, they have an estimated monthly sold. So it said 1,179. So that's for the entire listing. That's not just for this one white color size 10. So to be able to tell how much volume there is per size, you need to come down here to the the variations tab, and you're going to be able to tell. I like to sort by the ratings percent right here. So what this usually does is show the variation with the highest amount of sales and the percentage as well. So it's the percentage of the ratings. So it's not exactly just the percentage of the flat out sales on this listing, but usually it correlates pretty similarly. The only time where you really need to watch out for that is sometimes, let's say these shoes have been around for 5 years, but Nike releases a new colorway that gets added to the listing. Let's say that new colorway is really popular and it's selling really quick. It's not going to show that it has hundreds and hundreds of ratings because this has been around from 2021 or 2019, whatever it said on the Keepa. It shows 2021 here when it starts to get like a decent amount of ratings. So it's probably been getting 5 to 10 ratings per month on these listings, while the other one is brand new. It might only have 3 ratings, but still, that could be all in the last 30 days. That means it could be selling just as quick. But you need to check how long these ratings took to basically compound. So this is one thing that we look at. I like to look at the percentages a lot. Usually it's going to just show you the best sellers here. And it seems like all of these were kind of started at the same time. But you can see certain colors, like this one right here, it was selling much quicker in 2022 than it is now. It completely fell off. Like people stopped reviewing the product, which means they stopped buying the product. There still can be sometimes where you can buy something where it doesn't really have ratings and it'll still sell. But it's really good to see the ratings, and it's also really good to see the offer count. This is another place I like to look, especially on listings like this. And you can see these offer counts look very, very similar to each other. So you can tell, like, people are probably buying this shoe, all the sizes on the same websites, and people are just loading up their stock consistently because all these charts look very, very similar with how, like, it'll spike up during December time, and it just looks all like they're buying from the same places pretty much. So whenever you see movement like this, very good sign. So let me show you what it looks like when there's no movement. So boom, right here. These actually look like they're selling somewhat decently. This one up here, not selling at all. This one here, it's either selling very slow or it's not selling at all. This one actually sold through pretty quick, so we can see the offer counts moving up and down. This one's not really selling. This one's not really selling. So here we go. This is another one that's selling. These are selling slow. This one's selling slow. And that's kind of what I look for. There's so many different variations on a listing like this, like a lot of these. Most of these are not selling, like a lot of these weird colors and sizes. So it's really important to check on the offer count and the ratings history on these types of products. You could sort by pricing. So you could sort by like the most expensive, or you can sort by the cheapest. Like that's crazy that someone's selling these for $49 or whatever. But it seems like there's still, wow, 40 offers on that. That's crazy for a weird color. But it's cool that you can sort by all these different metrics. There's still a lot of stuff over here as well, but we just don't really use any of that. These are the most important ones. So take a screenshot here and copy exactly what I have. Image, title, all of that stuff. You want it to look exactly like mine. Let me get it in the right format again so you can see it more clearly. Yeah, here we go. And that's pretty much all with the variations tab. It's also nice to see the bought in the last month. A good tip for that, if it wasn't updated within the last like 7 days or like couple days, I wouldn't really pay attention to it. Like this was 25 days ago that said it's bought 50 plus in the last month. Who knows what that looks like now? I prefer to just buy it if it's updated in the last like couple minutes or in the last couple hours. So this right here is the Earn Money tab. They just have an affiliate program. I'm going to drop this in the link. So if you guys want to support, definitely go cop the link in the description. But this isn't really going to be useful to anyone in this who's watching this. And this right here is the settings that I use. So feel free to copy these. I'm pretty sure that these are just the default settings. I didn't really change anything here. But if there's anything different on your guys' screen, make sure you copy this and then also copy the price history as well. I have it set up just like this. Screenshot this. This is exactly what you want. Even you can honestly remove the rating count. Or review count. I don't really look at it too often. This is perfect right here. This is really all you need for Keepa. Keepa also has a mobile app as well. I prefer to use the SellerAmp because it has the built-in Keepa already and it has the profit calculator. Normal Keepa app does not have the profit calculator, which is a huge L for them. SellerAmp over here also has the Keepa chart as well, but it doesn't have the extra data with like the Buybox Statistics, or actually it does have the Buybox Statistics. It doesn't have the offers and a couple of other things that are important to Keepa. So the two softwares that you need to get started on Amazon, Keepa and SellerAmp. With those two, you can do online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, pretty much anything you want. That gives you all the data that you need to make a educated buying purchase. That's the best way to put it. You need these two. You have to have them. It's just like an essential of this business. And they're both like $20 each a month. It's a no-brainer. You can start an Amazon business today for under $100. It's actually insane. You can build up your business so much too. It's just infinite scalability. I'm going to show you guys a couple more examples here really quick of products that, so this one right here, here's one that I would avoid. This Celsius right here, this is a common Amazon seller personal item. So a lot of these huge brands, like as you guys can see, the best seller rank on this one, that's what BSR stands for, is literally 1. 1 is the fastest selling product in this category, which is all grocery items, which is crazy. Selling like insanely fast, and it's got a bunch of different flavors on here. But this specific variation is selling 10,000 times a month. So you might be trying to find this and source it and be like, oh, this would be great. I can sell the fastest selling item on Amazon. Hold up. You got to look at the offer count here and check for any red flags. And what I mean by red flags, so Amazon has a complaint type. It's called an intellectual property complaint. A lot of people will say IP. So if you hear an IP complaint, that's what they're talking about. It's whenever a brand files a complaint against your account for using their trademark in the wrong way. In reality, you're not even using it in the wrong way. They're just trying to strike you down to get you off of their listings. So this is what that looks like. You can see the offer count going up and down. It's doing whatever it's doing, but it goes from 9 offers right here and it drops immediately down to 1. Whenever you see a huge drop in the offer count like that, it's usually a IP complaint or some sort of issue that happens to everyone who's sold on here. So I like to avoid listings that look like this. Sometimes there's safe brands like Nike and Adidas that will look like that, but usually it's just a glitch. But if you're looking at a new brand or type of product and you're commonly seeing this on the Keepa charts, stay away. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth it. It can get you taken down. It's really annoying to fight an IP complaint. And the trick is to just never have to deal with it. I've never gotten a received IP complaint. I've gotten a couple suspected ones by Amazon, but I've sold thousands of different SKUs. I've never ran into like a real received IP complaint. So it's something that you guys can avoid very easily as well. So just look out for that on listings. I'll show you guys one more time. This drop right here, avoid it at all costs. So next, I'm going to show you guys a seasonal item right here. So what does it look like when an item is seasonal? So this is a backpack right here. So it's something that sells year round, but there's obviously a peak season. Back to school is going to sell way, way, way quicker than it is in January. It's just a fact. So let's look at the data here. So we can see every year the sales rank pops up to like 80,000 or whatever it is, and it drops down really, really low to like 50. That's a top 50 quickest moving item in the clothing and shoes category, which is a very fast selling category. And you can see the offer count starting to trend down now and get to 748 because we're starting to get into that back to school time. It's July 9th. I would say back to school peaks around August 1st to August 10th. So a lot of people are starting to send these in. The volume is starting to pick up. And as you guys can see by this monthly sold right here, it's going 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Last year it climbed all the way up to 10,000. One thing to know about these as well, they go in certain increments. It goes like 50 to 100, and then it goes 100, 200, 300, 400. And then once you get to 1,000, it goes 1,000, 2,000. So this 1,000 sold in the last month could be 1,001 or it could be 1,999. You don't really know. That's why you got to use a mixture of the offers, the offer tab right here on the data, and just looking at the offers down here, seeing how much they're selling, and making a wise buying decision from there. So this is what it looks like. You can see just the absolute drop in rank right here, which is a good thing. You remember the lower the sales rank, the better. And you can see that it happens consistently every year since they started tracking this item. So that's how you know that an item is seasonal. We like to do a lot of seasonal items. There's tons of potential here. Like we're loading up on backpacks right now. That's a huge opportunity there because not a lot of sellers know when to get them. So they might be buying them too early. They might be buying them too late. You want to get it around like early June to mid-July to send it into FBA. And you're going to be fully checked in, ready to go by August, and you're going to get some crazy sales on them. Like the volume goes crazy on backpacks. So if you guys are watching this, definitely check out some backpacks and get ready for back to school. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, drop a like, comment, subscribe, show some support. I've been really appreciating it all recently. We've been getting a ton of views. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Follow me at I am Dylan Sawyer on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Peace out.